30 seconds until minions spawn.
Alright, we are back. Our fourth game of the night. It's House Party 5v5's own version of solo queue. Every player gets their own individual ranking. Get 10 guys into a custom game. 2 team captains, draft teams of 5, and we play. If you'd like to get in on the action, houseparty5v5.com is where you need to go. Get all the details there. Whatever you don't find there, catch on our subreddit, including the information to our TeamSpeak. That is crucial to getting in on these games. r/houseparty5v5. Looking like Peaches is going to take his Zed into the mid lane. Formidable opponent, Peaches, on his Zed. Jetstone, not too sure what he's going to bring to the table against Peaches in the mid lane. Wumplebuff and Simrim going to fight it out in bottom lane against Ben and Sankenya. Well, that should be an interesting matchup. Binding coming across, not going to find its target there. Enemy taking a lot of early damage from Proceed to Feed in this top lane. Proceed putting it down onto him as he retreats to the safety of his turret. Peaches and Jetstone duking it out. Peaches grabs the first blood onto the Zed. Very big upset right there. I don't think Peaches expected that much damage to come out. The anti-stun gonna be negated by a great black shield. Enemy just chugging those potions away in the top lane. Came expecting a rough matchup, packed several potions and a flask in order to help him sustain through these early levels, but at this rate he is going to be burning through those pretty quickly. But he's put down a lot of damage in retaliation as well. That's going to leave Proceed to Feed a little bit behind on hit points. He's only got 1 potion with his Doran's Blade, so his sustain is pretty much over for the rest of the lane. Meanwhile, enemy still has, looks to be 2 charges left on that flask, and he doesn't seem to show any signs of slowing down anytime soon. Peaches got to be upset about that solo first blood that Jetstone put down onto him. Simrim getting snared out, takes a lot of damage from the snare and the pool. Wumple getting in there, providing a lot of counter damage down onto Ben. So Simrim and Ben, both prime targets here. Simrim is in a dangerous spot here. Orange Media coming in for the gank, gets the flash burned out, gets the bandage toss down on Proceed to Feed. The Ignite ticking away on enemy is not going to get the kill, but Flare coming in, not level 6 yet, so has no gap closer on the Jungle Diana. That is rough for him. Jungle Diana not able to bring a whole lot to the table pre-level 6 in terms of ganks, crowd control, even jungle control. Starts clearing out the jungle fairly well in the later stages once that Hunter's Machete gets upgraded, but right now he is just sitting on a solo machete. Ben and Sankenya forced back up against their turret. They're just going to farm it out underneath its safety. Camouflare deciding to go back and pick up his first upgrade. Sankenya whiffs it through the field goal with the snare. A lot of damage coming out from Wumple. Wumple ends up getting exhausted, though he can't finish it off. The exhaust keeping Sankenya alive long enough to get back to his turret. Enemy is, meanwhile, back up in the top lane. Picked himself up 2 components for his Catalyst Detector. Orange Media coming bottom for the gank now. Ben and Sankenyo not in a gankable position though at this point. Lots of counter play coming up in this top lane. Proceed to Feed and Enemy trading things out quite extensively. Proceed to Feed taking a lot of damage in retaliation there. The flash stun coming across from Simrim with the extra damage from the Q. That's going to be a double kill going in favor of Wumplebuff. Great start for blue team. They're sitting up 2,000 gold at this point in the game. Zed gets the ultimate down onto Jetstone. Ignite ticking away on him from the tower dive. Gonna end up giving Jet another one, but Jet ends up falling in that one as well. Enemy's worked himself up quite a good push here. Beautiful twisted advance here just outside of turret range. Gets a lot of damage down on the Proceed to Feed. Keeps ticking away. Proceed to Feed left with hardly anything. Looked like about less than 20 hit points. And Camouflare is here to provide support, but Orange Media tastes blood. He's on top of Camouflare. Flare pops his W here, gets those orbs for a little bit of protection, but no damage dealt to Orange Media. Proceed to Feed, getting that shield on him underneath the turret. He's going to get a safe back, but that's going to leave Enemy in a really good position. He's got this turret pushed up very well. He's finished off his Catalyst Protector now that he's gone back. Proceed to Feed, getting his Zeal. The lane looking like it is firmly in the hands of Enemy. We'll see what happens once both champions hit their level 6 mark, if that dynamic ends up changing how the top lane is going to be played. Yasuo's damage output certainly is something to fear. Ben getting jumped on now. The anti-stun going to dumpster him. Tibbers coming out, lots of damage. Wumplebuff making good use of his passive here to get a lot of damage on Sankenyo. The flash for Flash. Sankenyo, beautiful response there. Great reaction time, keeps him alive. Jetstone going in onto Peaches. It didn't get the damage that he needed to. Flash keeping him safe. Kills going over top and bottom lane though. Proceed to Feed just couldn't keep it up, and Wumplebuff and Simrim are on fire. Camouflare wants to make something happen here, but he is just not in a good position. Still not level 6. Jetstone gets caught out by the bandage toss from Orange Media. Great bandage toss and follow-up from Peaches. Good communication coming across there, and that is going to score blue team another kill. Just really unfortunate series of circumstances for red team, and Wumplebuff is not letting loose. Wumplebuff taking advantage of every single opportunity that he gets in this bottom lane and showing no signs of slowing down. Simrim on point with the stuns today. Already got another stun charged back up, and the difference is mounting quite substantially. 4,000 gold in favor of blue side, and Enemy has reached a point where he can just bully Proceed to Feed. Of course, Proceed has his ultimate at this point, but he is 2 levels down from Enemy and really not in a good position to try to retaliate here. Enemy low on mana, has to constantly deal with the mana issue, and forces a flash away from Proceed to Feed. Tibbers stun going to get Ben down very low, but ended up using a spell shield to negate a good portion of that damage coming from Simrim. See, trying to get some damage and some harass down on Enemy, but it's just not working. Enemy ignited, but not going to be a kill going in favor of Proceed to Feed. He was just too far behind, was not able to keep up with the tankiness and the sustain that you saw enemy bring to the lanes. A really competent play on that Maokai. All game long, he has done everything that he could to play down all of his disadvantages and play up all of his strengths. Jetstone got to be feeling bad at this point. Got the first blood, but after that, it just wasn't happening. Flare arriving in the middle of his jungle, getting stolen by 2 enemy teammates, and that is going to take him out of it. Flare not having an easy time in this jungle with Diana. Just seeing lots of counter play and really not very good lane matchups. Jetstone and Peaches going at it again, but Peaches is beefy. He's got quite a few good items, and Jetstone not sitting on very much at all. Wumple and Simran double teaming this turret, and they're going to be able to take it out, and they go on the chase here. The Black Shield going down onto Ben. Camouflare is bringing up the side here. Simran and Wumple are in trouble. Can they finish it off before trouble arrives? Flare gets exhausted, pops his W, the Q, the R, going to make the difference in that fight, and the shutdown gold going to be going over to red side. That's going to help him out. Very successful gank from Camouflare. Orange Media trying to counter that with some presence in the top lane. Proceed to Feed in a rough patch here. Gets his ult on enemy. Look at that. This goes to show you how tanky enemy is. Simran joining the fight in mid lane. The Q going to follow Jetstone over the flag and drag, and that is going to be more gold headed over the blue side. Really unfortunate for Jetstone. He got tower dove and just didn't have anybody within range in order to respond to him. Camouflare very low here, not in a great position to try to get Peaches and Simran off of this turret. Trying to zone them out just with his presence, but they are not giving him any respect. Great long-range snare from Sankenyo. Going to put Simran at bay for just a little bit. Simran on fire tonight. He is 3-0. Looking to extend his winning streak to 4 games, and with that, take the #1 spot in the league. Members of Red Team trying to regroup here. Enemy finds Proceed to Feed out in the mid lane, and it is destruction. Not very good for Proceed to Feed, not very good for Red Team at all, and the jungle control is just keeping its thumb down on top of Camouflare. This blue buff is in contention. Camouflare trying to get into that fight, but there was just too much beef in between him and Simran. And honestly, the amount of damage that Simran is putting out at this point in the game, he has his gold item all the way upgraded, providing him a good amount of hit points. Waffle Buff kiting around beautifully there, using his passive to full advantage here. I think he's just having a little bit too much fun with that. Wumple Buff has his Hurricane finished. Meanwhile, just a pickaxe sitting on to Ben. Wumple has to back up out of this one, but Peaches is coming in to provide support. It's a lot of damage down onto Sankenyo, and that's going to take the kill for blue side. Leaves his turret completely exposed, and no response coming from red side. This game is solidly in the hands of blue team. Not sure what much more red can do at this point. 18.7. A 10,000 gold lead in favor of blue side, and blue does not show any signs of slowing down. They want to lock this one in and close it out before anything has a chance to change. Bottom lane turrets completely destroyed, leading all the way up to the inhibitor turret. So lots of room for blue team to get in there and grab vital objectives. Sankenyo just trying to drop some wards, just trying to get some vision control in this jungle, and finds himself an enemy Zed. Thankfully that Dark Binding was able to make something happen there. Enemy getting jumped on in the top lane here. Jetstone and Proceed to Feed trying to jump on him. Proceed to Feed ends up falling, and enemy tries to make it out okay, but Jetstone going to grab that kill. Ben throwing auto attacks down on the Simran, just not hardly dealing any damage at all. Blue team has this bottom lane completely in their control, and it looks like they're going to decide to back out, possibly spend a little bit of gold, and go for a second shot at it. Doesn't look like red team are going to be able to pull this one off. Trying to get some wards down though. Trying to get a little bit of vision control. The blue team have just been all over their jungle this game. Made it very difficult for Camouflare to farm, to get any amount of help from his team. He's sitting on his jungle items and a pair of Sork boots, and that is it. Take a look at the other side, and the difference is just night and day compared to what Orange Media is bringing to the fight. Wumplebuff getting completely up in the face of the red team, just not giving them any respect at all. He was practically parallel with the turret, just daring them to try to do something. Enemy solidly controlling this top lane, keeping Zed out of the fight. He hasn't used his ultimate on a single target outside of enemy this game, and ended up having to flash away there. Simran joining the fight here with the Tibbers, grabs himself a kill there as well. That leaves this turret exposed in the top lane. Mid lane, Sankenyo trying to do what he can here. Orange Media popped the ultimate there though. Sankenyo gonna be getting his soul shackles off here, but not got the response from his team or the damage that he needed to make that one happen. And this game is just headed further in the direction of blue team. Enemy taking out the turret in the top lane, just doing it all by himself. He's been an island, an iron island up there in the top lane to himself, has taken care of business, 2v1 situations, and has completely owned the entire